Hello and welcome to this new video where today we're gonna do my America's Pick'ems. And basically, how if we look so far though, I feel like I've done pretty well. Obviously there hasn't been many upsets, but I predicted Crew to beat the Sentinels. Then I feel like I did some. I mean, I picked NRG versus C9, which I was really close to picking C9 in that game, as far as I remember, but I wanted NRG to look really good, so I picked NRG. And then Lev at my BR, kind of unfortunate because I was like, I want to pick it. I picked MIBR and then I changed my mind because I was like, but hold on. MIBR has picked up Verno and I thought it would look bad, but it didn't. It looked really good. And now I'm super high on MIBR instead. Um, but yeah, um, even though I was super high about MIBR, especially after this week, I still picked G2 to beat them because G2 is G2. And I think they're the best team in the world right now. And then I picked NRG to beat Furia. That one looked kind of scary for a second. But eventually they won. And then obviously I picked Crew versus Sen, which is like the big one that I feel like a lot of people got wrong here. That I didn't. And then I picked 100 Thieves to beat EG, obviously G2. Then obviously I got the Loud game wrong. I feel like if you got that one right, you're either just a Brazilian fan that hates Loud, or you just kind of was feeling raunchy and saw that they looked solid against G2 and was like, haha, I'm gonna pick them against Loud. But nah, there's not many people that will. I predicted that one correctly, and then I picked Cloud9 over Lev because Cloud9 looked much better than Lev did. So that's been my pick'em so far. I think it's looked solid. I got 90 out of 120. I think the highest anybody has got though is 110, meaning everybody has one of these three wrong, which I feel like is fair enough. There's 55 that has 110. I will promise you that like 50 of those probably predicted this game wrong. But yeah, for week 3, we start off with EG Sentinels, and honestly, if Sentinels does not win this game, alarm bells are ringing for me. EG has not looked good so far. Like, I'm just gonna tell it as it is. They beat 2G, sure, which Loud didn't beat, but Loud also looked too overconfident in that game, and EG still struggled slightly against 2G, and then they lost pretty badly to 100 Thieves. Which sure, usually I don't like comparing, and Sentinels beat 100 Thieves, obviously, so they should beat EG, but I don't like doing that. But in this case, that should just be the case. If this isn't like a pretty comfy 2-0, I will be kind of worried for Sentinels still. And honestly, although I'm already a bit on the fence with them, I do feel like they should 2-0 this. They really should. Now, 100 Thieves Loud is one that I'm struggling with. Because personally, I do think Loud looked really bad against 2G. Like, really bad. But at the same time, it did feel like Loud sort of underestimated 2G rather than Loud just played really poorly. And then 2G just got on a roll and Loud just couldn't get it back. So I'm tempted to pick Loud here. I'm tempted to. And I could see it happening. I really could. And I'm going to pick Loud here. That's a crazy one. After just losing to 2G, I'm going to pick Loud again. And I promise you, I picked Loud 2 weeks in a row. I promise you it's going to be like 2 losses here. It probably will. But I'm doing it. And then, although 2G beat Loud, I think this could honestly, honest to God, this is probably gonna be the quickest game of the week if I were to predict. this is not gonna be a easy game for 2G, and I think as long as Crew doesn't do fuck up as Loud did, which I trust Crew won't, considering especially how they looked against Sentinels, I just don't see how Crew lose this in any world. Now going into G2 versus NRG, I think this one is pretty simple as well. I don't think there's much really to talk about here. It's just gonna be G2. Like, if you ever pick energy in this game, you are the most Lulu person I've ever spoken to. Because NRG are not looking good right now, and G2 are looking like the best team in the world. So if you think that NRG, a team that's literally been fighting and struggling to even get wins against bottom teams in the league, is better than G2, I feel bad for you. So yeah, Furia Leviathan. Oof. I mean, surely, Lev, right? Surely, right? But like, Furia got a map off of NRG, and sure, NRG didn't look good that map, and absolutely stomped them on the other two. But man, does Lev look like shit, man. Man, do they look like shit. Am I? If I'm, I, I'm picking left. I need to pick Lev here, man. I can't not pick Lev. I just don't see it going to. I do see it going to. Like, I do see a world in which this goes to Furia, and if that world happens, I see Lev going 0-5. I seriously see them going 0-5. Um, as I don't think, even if they fix some stuff, that they will be either G2 or NRG in this current state. But yeah, I gotta pick Furia. No, Lev. My God. But yeah, Leviathan. Now, C9 versus MIBR is gonna be a banger, man. This is, I feel like, gonna be the first real big test for C9 though. Like, C9 beat Lev pretty comfortably. Lev hasn't really looked that good so far, ever really. They looked pretty terrible every single time we've seen them. Um, and MIBR also did 2-0 them pretty comfortably. And C9 played NRG week 1 and looked really good on 2 maps and looked kind of shit on 1. And then in kickoff, they lost to MIBR 2-1. And then won against NRG. And then, did they have another game? Did they? Pretty sure they did, right? Yeah, they won against NRG. No, that's not that. Either way, I'm pretty sure they went 1-2 in kickoff. And um, yeah, I do think this is going to be a big test. At the same time, though, MIBR did beat C9 in kickoff. But at the same time, both of these teams look so much better than they did in kickoff. So much better. But at the same time, both teams look so much better. But MIBR still beat them in kickoff. Do I? Which team looks the most improved? Is like my big question mark here. No, okay, no, I can't. It's gotta be MIBR. It's gotta be MIBR. Um, I have them pretty dominantly as the second best team in the region right now. And I just don't see it. I simply just do not see it whatsoever. I just don't see them losing this. Like, look how good they looked against G2. Like, genuinely, like they could have won against G2 2-0. Like, that's how good this MIBR team looked. And although Cloud9 has looked really good, I don't think I've seen that sort of level yet. And that's why I'm picking MIBR. So yeah, that was my pick'ems for this week. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one.